Hey everyone, welcome back to our Support Local series. Riyad and Will here from the DR Group. And Will, where are we today?
We're at, well, first of all, we're beautiful Ajax, Ontario, my favorite city right now in Durham region. And we're at Durham Distillery with Chris. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it briefly before we started the film, but tell us how long you've been in business for, and why did you choose to distill, booze?
Well, the distillery was founded in 2017. It's really just kind of based around me wanting to have a creative outlet in my life beyond my work life and my corporate life. I got into this business knowing nothing about how to distill or how to make alcohol or any of the rules and laws that I would have to abide by to do this. So I spent the first 2 years apprenticing at Last Straw Distillery in Vaughan under Don DeMonte, and just learning from him how to do this from the grain up. I would spend 16 hours a day there on Saturday and 16 hours a day there on Sunday.
Wow.
Just learning and fermenting and mashing, and Don was great at always helping me out and answering my questions, but never telling me what to do, so I really learned how to do this. 2019, we started the very long process of getting our distiller's license. It's one of the hardest licenses, I think, to get in Canada. It's governed by the CRA, and I feel like laws that date back to prohibitionist time. So there's a lot of hoops you have to go through. It took us 14 months to get our federal license, and then 2 months to get our provincial license, which then took us to April 2020. What a great time to be trying to get a business going and starting with this little cold that's going around. That's
Little flu.
Yeah, a little flu. We're going to be down for a couple of weeks. So we ended up pivoting to hand sanitizer at that time. I also brought on a couple partners at that point, so we pivoted to hand sanitizer, and we were really focused on that for the next 14 months. And that was really about just kind of helping out our community. We gave a lot to first responders. We sold a lot to hospitals. So really just trying to get it out there into the community and help the community, because there was such a shortage at the time because of shipping.
For sure.
In October 2021, we moved into our current location here at 25 Mill Street in Pickering Village, part of Ajax, which I love. And so we're just celebrating our 1 year anniversary here now, or just over 1 year.
And what is this building originally?
This building was originally a fire hall. So originally it sat up at Mill Street and Highway 2, and when they widened that to 4 lanes, they tore that down and built this one here as a volunteer fire hall. So this building's been here since 1970. It's been many things since then. It's been an operations facility, it's been a daycare, it's been a community center, it's been a Masonic temple. It was a virtual reality cybersecurity training company when we moved in here.
Wow.
And now we've converted it to be a distillery and our retail shop.
When you chose this location, why was Ajax chosen?
So the main motivator for us was to be in Durham region, obviously, is the Durham Distillery. When we were working at Vaughan, we used to get a lot of questions about, why are you guys in Vaughan called the Durham Distillery? I used to say, well, we're still distilled in the 905, so that should count for something. And then it just came down to finding a really cool location. I want something very different. Because of the laws that go around distilleries, we're considered to be a high hazard business because we're dealing with highly flammable liquids. So in most distilleries in Ontario, you find them in industrial plazas. So those empty looking strip malls that have no facade, no look, you don't really want to go there, you don't want to hang out. So as I was talking to all the different economic development offices in the area, I started talking to the Ajax one about this building. Now this building is particularly precious to me because I live very, very close to it. I can walk to work anytime I want and be here in under 10 minutes.
Do you walk to work?
More in the summer months. In these colder winter months, I tend to drive. I also have learned that as an entrepreneur, my day is never my own. So there's a day where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to spend the entire day at the distillery today, and by 10:30, I now need to run somewhere, so I got to run home and get the truck. But in the summer, I try to walk every day, and in the evenings when I'm working, I try to walk, just because it is so close. But why Durham? Kind of the large question is I grew up in the region. I grew up in Pickering. I went to high school in Pickering. I went to public school in Pickering. This is the area that I lived in, and the person who I started the distillery with, he was also from Durham region, so it was very important to us to be where we grew up and where we lived. And from a marketing perspective, the Durham Distillery is pretty simple, what we do and where we do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, what do you want the community to know about the business or about yourself?
I'd love them to know about all the charitable work we do. That's a big part of what we do here. So a few lines of our products give back to charities in different ways. So our Wheat Kings vodka, $2 for every bottle goes to the Gord Downey Fund for Brain Cancer Research.
Wow. Did not know
Kings.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we pay homage to his legacy and the great music that they created. Our Strawberry Fields Gin, we do that in partnership with Durham College. Their students grow a majority of the strawberries for us, so we have a bursary program set up with them where $2 for every bottle goes back to them, helps fund the next generation of growers. And then just before Christmas, we released a whole new line of spirits called Firehouse Spirits. It's really based around my need to just create small batches of things and want to have different flavors. So every bottle from Firehouse Spirits, regardless of what flavor you buy, $1 will go to first responder causes here in Durham region. The first one that we're partnered with is an organization called Camp Molly. They get young women into firefighting, and they'll be doing the first camp in Durham region here this summer. They do them all across the province.
Wow. Talk about support local, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
so you're a local guy, you mentioned.
Yeah.
What is your favorite local business when you're not working to go to?
Like establishment to eat or?
Eat, drink, shop, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Working out, anything.
So we love the Village Public House. They're just down the street from us. Another Pickering Village organization. Craig and Suzanne, great chefs. They have a great menu there. They actually, as we do private events here, they do some of the catering for us. Isabella's Kitchen and Pantry is another caterer we use who we love working with them. They come in and set up everything for our events, and they do a little kitchen downstairs so everything's made fresh. I think those are kind of two really great restaurants we work with. On the hot sauce side, we love the guys at Hurtberry Farm and Purple Tongue Hot Sauce. They're both friends of ours. We carry their products. Yeah, there's so many great small businesses in Durham region that you don't know about them. You don't know about them if you don't know to seek them out.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly why we started doing these series, because there's so many hidden gems here, right?
Yeah.
Just talk to them.
So somebody's first time here, what do you recommend?
I get that question a lot, and I always say I love all my children equally.
Of course.
Because as the head distiller, I've had ample amounts of time tasting these while I'm creating them. And I say it really comes down to what are you looking for? What's the flavor you're looking for? Do you prefer gin or vodka? My goal is to create an experience in every bottle, not so much a flavor. So when you drink it, I want you to enjoy the spirit, but I want you to taste the quality, taste the fact that we don't use any artificial flavors or sugars. Whenever we make anything that involves fruit, it's always dehydrated fruit. It's never a syrup. Our gins, we use dehydrated actual botanicals and herbs. We don't use any syrups or flavor additives.
Oh, wow.
I always joke that the only thing I use is what Mother Nature and Father Time give me. So I'd say come in. We'll do a complimentary tasting for anybody who comes on in. You can taste some or all of the products and decide what the right one is for you.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's great.
That's good. You didn't really answer the question though, but it's okay. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. What is the biggest surprise you experienced owning this business?
I would say the biggest surprise is probably the sense of pride in owning it. Like I thought owning a business would be cool. One of my motivating factors to do this was to teach my kids that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I wanted to teach my kids that happiness was more important than a paycheck, so I left a six-figure job to come do this.
Was that tough?
Sorry?
Was that tough?
It was at first, but it took a lot of planning for my wife and I to kind of make sure that financially this made sense for us, and that we could make it work and do everything we needed to do and still maintain some resemblance of lifestyle. But what we had learned in doing the exercise is that we just had a lot of wasted income because we could.
Right.
We were eating out more than we needed to. We were spending on things we didn't need to spend on. So once we kind of figured that out, it became really easy for us, and now we actually have a surplus of money with way less salary coming in, because we got focused on what was important to us. We always say the only thing that matters is healthy and happy, and then beyond that, it's a gift.
I agree.
That's, no, good philosophy. So if someone is going to start a business, any business, what's your advice to them?
Really understand what you're getting yourself into from an entrepreneurship point of view. You think, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to start a business and everyone's just going to flock to me because I'm local and I'm a good person. Some of that is true, but for the most part, it's going to be an uphill struggle. I always joke that part of this job is 2 steps forward, baseball bat to the head. Then we got to take another 2 steps, take another baseball bat, something else happens.
Right.
But even my most challenging days here, as I'm down in our production area, just looking around, I think I would trade all of these headaches. I wouldn't trade all of these headaches for one of the headaches I had put up in my high-paying corporate job. I love these headaches so much more because they're mine and I've created
Exactly.
them and I own them and I can fix them.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
great. Oh,
That's
thank you, Chris. See how easy that was?
That was
Well,
perfect. Yeah.
thanks for having me on your podcast.
Of course. Anytime, anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know where we are, Durham Distillery is located at 25 Mill Street in Ajax, Ontario. Come on by for a complimentary tasting. You can find us online through Instagram and Facebook at the Durham Distillery.